Have you ever met somebody for the first time that you was talking to online, and then you simply realize that it just ain't my type, you know? But now, how do you tell somebody that they are genuinely not your type? Welcome back to Raw Romance. I'm your host, O. Tonight, we're gonna get into something a little different. We're gonna get into the difference between being judgmental and somebody who's genuinely not your type. So, right, not everybody's gonna be your type, and that's fine. But apparently, people can't tell the difference anymore. And here, we keep it real about dating. I feel like people confuse rejection with disrespect. Like now, just because somebody doesn't like you or doesn't choose you, doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. People think that, oh, they see me in person is different. Yeah, it's gonna be different than what you guys talk about behind the scenes, through text message, through DMs, phone conversations. And then when you guys meet, the chemistry might not be there, you know? And honestly, I think people are afraid to admit now because it might sound shallow, judgmental, or even mean to some people. But attraction matters, energy matters, compatibility matters. Somebody could genuinely be a good person and still just not be your type naturally. I think social media made people feel like every rejection needs an explanation. For what? Like, if somebody doesn't choose you, people automatically think there's something wrong with me. When honestly, sometimes people just genuinely don't connect. And it's okay. It really is. And I'll be honest, there's been some situations where I talk to somebody online and then I meet them in person and instantly realize, yeah, this just isn't for me. And not even on some disrespectful shit either. Sometimes physical connection wasn't there. The physical chemistry just wasn't there. Sometimes the personality didn't connect the way I thought it did. I think people underestimate how different talking through text chemistry and real life chemistry can actually be. And that can be a problem with some people. I mean, looking back at it, I know ghosting wasn't the right thing to do, but at the same time, how do you tell somebody you're just not my type without hurting them? Especially when they necessarily didn't do one thing wrong. That's the uncomfortable part people don't like to talk about. Because sometimes rejection isn't about being toxic, Sometimes it's not about the red flags. Sometimes that connection is just genuinely not there. And honestly, I've been rejected before. Yeah. And at first, it can make you question yourself a little, you know? You start wondering what you did wrong, what changed, why somebody didn't choose you, or they stopped choosing you. As a matter of fact, that's what they stopped choosing you. But as the older I got, I started realizing every rejection isn't disrespect. You know, every rejection doesn't mean somebody thinks you're ugly or worthless or not enough. Sometimes you're genuinely not their type. And honestly, that does not make them shallow at all. Because I've had people that genuinely weren't my type. And forcing people to fake attraction, fake chemistry, or even fake connection usually just creates situations later at the end of the day that just don't work out. I don't think rejection means somebody shallow. I don't think every preference makes somebody judgmental either. Sometimes two people genuinely just don't align together, you know? And that's okay. We got to get into the habit of starting to realize that things are going to be okay. Everything is, you're going to find your person. There's a person out there for everybody. And I stand by that. You know, it's somebody that is going to understand your energy, your sense of humor, your mind state, your way of loving. You know, somebody will see that. And somebody is gonna fall head over heels, or their jaws just gonna drop for you, you know? So it depends, you know. Men, we're not falling head over heels, you know. Our jaws will drop, but the woman might fall head over heels for the man or the woman, you know. And yeah, that's all I gotta say about that, because this is Raw Romance. I'm your host O, and here we will always keep it real about dating. And if you're feeling this, you already know what to do. You heard? Shit. I've been keeping it raw over romance. Real conversation over slow dance. Ain't with the fake, I don't hold hands. If it ain't authentic, I don't do the scams. You gonna front, I don't play them games. I seen true love turn into flames. Just keeping it real, I don't need the fame.